On this episode of the bus build, I'm going to be talking about resealing the windows, resealing around the door, and replacing the driver's seat. I do have some footage from when we were actually resealing the windows, but just kind of an in brief summary of what we did was unscrewed the frames of the windows, popped the windows out, and they came out pretty easily since I would assume it was a 25-year-old seal that was on there and wasn't really stuck very well anymore. Took the window out and scraped off the old layer of the sealing stuff, put on, cleaned it off, wiped it down, wiped off the frame where the window was going to attach to, and then put a fresh layer of butyl tape on there, and then screwed it back into place. Once we got it back into place, I did put expanding foam around the frame of the window because the window frame leaves, maybe an inch or an inch and a half gap. It was a really weird setup. Everyone except the big back window. The big back window screwed in tight where the frame, hugged the bus on both sides. But for some reason, the other windows have that gap in there, so I filled it with expanding foam. Otherwise, it would have been really easy just to come up, and if you accidentally push on a window from the inside, it would have just completely popped off the framing that we did. Oh yeah, we also sealed around on the outside with silicone. And so I will cut into some of the videos we have here of when we're actually resealing the windows on the bus. Alright, taking off some of the seal. We start on the bottom of the window because it's got a seam in the ceiling there. I'm actually going to start on the corner right next to it. Pry it up a little bit. I'll get my hand under it. And then peel back to the seam. There it goes. Okay, so now I got it loose. And I just pull ever so gently. Hope it stays in one piece. And now for the doors. This includes the handicap doors and the bus doors. Both of them leaked when it rained, fairly significantly, to the point where there were puddles inside the bus. And so I scraped off all of the old sealing using putty knife / painter's tool, just kind of whichever one was working better for me at the moment, and resealed all around it with silicone. And so that was quite an undertaking because you don't realize how much linear footage there is to have to scrape out and to reseal until you actually start doing it. I also replaced the interior rubber sealing, and again I have a video from when I did that I'll put up. You can see the old weather stripping. It's kind of torn up and kind of crappy, so we're going to replace it. Here on the outside of the bus, you can see where I redid the silicone seal around all the way up both sides here. I do need to do something about the screws because I think it does still leak through those screws, just a hair. I have a video showing you how there's a board on the other side of this wall that was really wet before when it would rain. Still, if it's a very heavy rain, that board will be damp. So I don't have that board covered yet because I don't want it to be damp inside of a wall. So I'm waiting to get that all taken care of before I will cover that board. But all the way up, and then I went across the top of the bus door and all the way down the front. Just re-siliconed all that. And yes, I'm horrible at silicone. Found that out definitely. I had silicone on my hands for like a week after doing this. But also did, across the top of the bus handicap doors and then down this side as well. So a lot of silicone sealing that I ended up doing, but it has made a really big difference as far as the water not coming in anymore. As for the driver's seat, in the bus, it still had the original driver's seat, just like the other seating, and it was completely disintegrating. It was sunken in. I couldn't even drive the bus because it was so low I couldn't see over the dashboard. So I did have to replace the driver's seat. And again, I do have some footage from when I was actually replacing the driver's seat. But once more, kind of the summary in short, I first tried to find a salvage seat at a salvage yard and wasn't able to make that work, so I did have to order a new seat, and just doing some searching online was able to find one that fit the base that the original driver's seat was in, and so I got that ordered, and it was actually pretty easy to install. I did have to use the same seat rail system, the slider system, because it was just the seat. So I was glad I had kept that because I did get rid of the other seat, and then I was just really glad that I thought to remove that slider off of there because that would have just been another expense to have to pay for a new one of those. Look at you all teary-eyed. Are you going to help me drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, you going to help me drive? Okay. Put your hands up there. Vroom, vroom. Let's drive. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Not going yet.
It's not going yet. Nope. It's not even on. Are you ready to go inside?
Yeah.
Me too. Let's go inside.